Any questions from the press?
You talked about jobs quite a bit, Dr. Montgomery did. How many jobs are we looking at with this $8 billion or the $1 billion from Chicago to Kansas City? Any estimate on that?
I don't have a precise estimate of the probably thousands of jobs that we're talking about nationally. I mean, clearly there's going to be construction jobs, there's going to be track laying jobs, there's going to be engineering jobs involved with putting this system together. I don't have a precise number right now, but that's, I think, what we're working on.
Are you thinking there's going to be 2 decades to complete this project?
I don't have a precise timeline how long it's going to take to build this system. The point here is that it doesn't happen overnight. That it, as the representative told me, she's been working on this for 17 years to get us to kick off. We want to move this faster. The administration is committed to moving this substantially faster. We know this is vitally important for the country, for our competitiveness going forward. So I think with working with the governors and the Congress, the President wants to move this as quickly as we possibly can.
Governor, will this require some state money at some point from either Illinois or Missouri or both in order to finish the construction? And are you prepared to come up with the money?
I mean, there are state pools involved in some of the matches of some of these dollars as we move through the process, and plus the assistance on the state side in Missouri, some of the rail upgrades, some of the other pieces certainly will have the availability to have state dollars involved in that. I think as we are right now, the major focus still is on getting these federal dollars in, using them not only in the state of Missouri but in the other parts of this Midwest network, whether it's in the Chicago to Milwaukee or the Chicago to St. Louis. All of that puts together a significant network that's going to cost billions of dollars. And I think the major focus on us is getting these dollars from Washington as quickly as we can and spending them in our region.
My understanding, and I may have it wrong, is the high speed goes from Chicago to St. Louis, and then it's rail improvements from here to Kansas City, but it won't be high speed.
That's right.
It'll improve
Although
on time.
It can help increase the speed, but I wouldn't call what's being done with the $30+ million moving the St. Louis to Kansas City at the high speed yet. But you've got to do the infrastructure improvements to begin that. It's one of the benefits we get from say, yeah.
Is there a formal groundbreaking that will take place with the high speed?
Yeah,
when will it all begin?
I'm sure we will. Usually we try to downplay good announcements. I mean, we'll issue a press release sometime. Not sometime.
You think it's going to be this year? Or this year?
We're going to be relatively, especially on the state side, on the Missouri pieces. Those are one of the reasons why some of those projects were rewarded is that Pete and his staff are when we say shovel ready in Missouri, we mean shovel ready in Missouri. I mean, the Missouri piece of this, I am stunned that Director Ron doesn't have a hard hat on here. Next question.
Governor, anyone who's taken Amtrak to Chicago knows you can get to Joliet in 3.5, 4 hours and still be another 2-3 hours to get into Chicago. This plan here says that it will increase the speed to Dwight, Illinois, but that last push, are we talking about a dedicated passenger rail here that will involve this train staying on the track and not having to get off for freight?
I mean, I prefer as we move on through the day and tomorrow to have the Illinois folks explain exactly how those dollars are going to be spent in sequence on the Illinois side of the river. The bottom line is $1.1 billion is a lot of money. It's going to begin this process. Which way they do that, I'd prefer to defer to our friends from Illinois.
But they're trying a Missouri question then. What does $30 million get you? What are you going to do with $30 million?
Well, I mean, we're part of this other. I don't mean to understate the fact that Missouri joined up with not only Illinois but Ohio and Wisconsin and other states, and we laid on the table for Secretary LaHood and this administration a coordinated plan of how we were going to operate in the years to come in the Midwest. That's one of the reasons why, I mean, this first additional dollars between St. Louis and Chicago is here. That's one of the reasons why the north of $800 million is between Chicago and Milwaukee. It's one of the reasons why Ohio is going to get good news today also. This Midwest section of this is very important. I think when you step back and look at it, you're going to see that the Midwest, because of the work that was done, will be a significant recipient, very significant recipient of the entirety of the dollars. As far as the Missouri side, we have there's some bottlenecks along the way. We have places where it squeezes down just to one track. We'll double those up. We still have some crossovers that stop traffic getting to it. That means that sometimes the trains have to slow down because they're ground their ground, they have the lights right next to them. We will put overpasses over those. I think Director Ron and his team will be announcing in the coming days, the sequencing of those projects, and I'd watch very carefully. I think they'll be to work very quickly on those projects. A series of projects all the way across the state. Yes.
Is there a thought once this $30 million is spent, how much time will be saved on the St. Louis to Kansas City stretch? I mean, do you have a goal?
Well, you'd like to move the speed of the trains up. You'd like to get the reliability up, too. One of the challenges you have with the amount of coal that's being moved east to west in our state, when we're moving, I believe, based on where I sleep at night, that 80 trains a day of coal pass and some of them have to stop there and wait. I mean, literally right there, you can, it's about a 9-iron into them from the back of the governor's mansion. But that will speed those up, and consequently you won't have the delays. And when you don't get the delays, it begins to get the dollars all move forward, because then the demand for ridership goes up. It's more predictable. So we see this initial piece from Missouri adding to predictability, perhaps a little speed, but the lack of delays, I think, is the most important part, and to making it so that we can move freight one way and people another way at the same time. Yeah.
The talk I've heard was 3 to 5 years to get the high speed from St. Louis to Kansas City. Is that a good neighborhood?
I mean, we need.
Is that possible?
Today is a good day for the country. A good day, a great day for the Midwest. Incredible day for St. Louis. It's the beginning of a process, though, as Deputy Secretary indicated. I mean, we're in a situation where there's going to be other resources coming. This is day one. As they redo the highway bill, as they redo the multimodal bill, as Congressman continues his hard work, and our friends from Illinois do, we expect other dollars, and we expect, because of this, Missouri to be positioned at the front of the line for those additional dollars as we begin to move west. I've sat along, as Governor Quinn and I, as we sat here when it was really hot one day, I'm not sure which day it was, we said, get to Chicago to St. Louis is much easier than to get to St. Louis to Kansas City with the same thing, and that's what this day, I think, really is about, is moving that centerpiece, that pivot point south down to St. Louis is what this does. I want to thank, there's just so many people here to thank that I'm not going to thank any of them. The ones that have been mentioned, you know who you are. I do want to say, and I don't just say this because I've known her for so many years. I mean, Senator Bray has lived and died this project for many years. We really appreciate her leadership in our state for many years. Thank you all for being here.